How much would the revenue increase if sales increase from 26 to 28? So you will determine R of
28 and then subtract out 26.
That's why I would recommend put the function in and then plug in 26 and then plug in 28 so you can get the numbers quickly. However, you can also do this like I'm going to do here. I'm just going to copy the previous entry and I go back and replace 26 by 28 everywhere. Just overwrite 26. And press enter. So this is 3961.664. So now delta R, right? The difference in revenue is, so minus, this is delta R. So this minus 3685.032. So delta R will be
276.632.
What is the marginal revenue when 26 suitcases are sold? Yes. So R prime of X, which is
0.021x squared
right.
0.25x plus 150.
0.5 times 2 is 1. That's okay. Plus 150. So then R prime of 26, what will this give? It will predict the cost of the 27th. So 0.021 times 26 squared minus 26 plus 150. And let me know what we get.
$138.196.
138.196.
196.
So the cost of the next one would be 138.196. The revenue, I'm sorry, the revenue.
The revenue of what?
From the next
So from the next one, if we sell and produce and sell the 27th, we're going to get a revenue of 138.
Increase.
So that's the rate of change. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, we want to continue with 8 or 9. Sure.
Yeah. We were actually talking about this in the first class.
Yeah, this one.
Good. So suppose that the price P in dollars and number of sales X of a certain item follow the following equation. Suppose that P and X are both functions of time measured in days. Find the rate at which X is changing when X equals 3 and P equals 5 and dP over dt is 1.5. Find the rate at which X is changing. So we are asked to find dx over dt. So that's the question. We are told that both P and X are functions of time.
So since it says find the rate at which we have to find dx over dt.
Correct?
Okay.
Yes. And then it says find the rate at which X is changing, which is dx over dt, but when blah, 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 blah happens. Let me know when you're ready for the equation. And I just realized I have a typo on the last page. It's not for the date in the table, but for the data in the table.
Hmm.
Please make that correction. Okay, can anyone dictate?
Five dp over dt
Awesome. Plus
plus 4 dp over dt
dx
or
over
dx
dt.
over dt
Very good, awesome.
plus
Leave the 2 outside.
I think, is it
It's the product rule.
so dp over dt times x
Excellent. Plus.
p
Excellent.
times dx over dt
Excellent.
equals
Equal.
0.
Excellent. We are solving for this. This is our variable, the only variable here that we are interested in. But first I have to distribute the 2. So it's 5 dp over dt plus 4 dx over dt. I'm sorry, plus 2x dp over dt plus 2p dx over dt equals 0. Again, we are after this. So this term has to go, this term has to go. So from these two terms, I cannot combine them. So I have 2p plus 4. I factor out the x over dt. Yes,
Is it -5
negative 5.
minus
Yes. So I'll say negative 5 minus 2x dp over dt. Final form for dx over dt equals negative 5 minus 2x dp over dt over 2p plus 4. Now I can plug in all numbers. So dx over dt when x is 3, p is 5, dp over dt is 1.5. So negative 5 minus 6, dp over dt is 1.5. 2 times p, 2 times 5 plus 4. So negative 11 times 1.5 over 14. I'm going to try to approximate this and see what happens. And that is negative, so it's 11 multiplied by 1.5 and divide by 14. And I get 1.18. So it decreases, negative 1.18. And dx over dt is sales, so sales per dollar. No, sales, suppose that p and x are both functions of time measured in days, so over time. So sales per time, sales per days, sorry, sales per day. X is in the number of sales and T is time in days. This was a related rates problem. So N of T, T is in days, N is the number of students. 30 divided by 1 plus 80 e to negative 0.8 t. Find the rate of change of this function.
I'm sorry, before we move on. could you
Yes.
Move up so I can copy down.
Yes. Is this okay, everyone? Any questions on the previous problem? Any questions on the previous one? Okay, so N is the number of students who hear a certain rumor, and T is in days. So the rate of change will be number of students per day, measurement unit. So we're asked to find the rate of change. What would you do? Correct. But I will change it into 30 times 1. Yes, e to negative 0.8 t raised to negative 1. It will be easier to differentiate. So let's take a moment and work on this. So I consider this today a final exam review, okay? Because I named those files. Ready? Very good.
Is it negative 30? And then in parentheses, 80
1 plus 80 e to negative 0.8 t raised to negative 2
times the inside, which is
times the inner prime.
8 to negative
So
20.
80 multiplied by negative 0.8 times e to negative 0.8 t. So when I differentiate this, I get 0. When I differentiate a constant times a function, the constant stays outside. When I differentiate e to u, I get e to u times the inner function prime, which is negative 0.8.
Switch them out.
So now I multiply this and this and this.
And it's 1920.
So 80 times this times this.
80 times negative 0.8 times negative 30 is 1920.
1920. Okay. So divided by e to 0.8 t and times 1 plus 80 e to negative 0.8 t to the second power.
Isn't there still the e to the negative 0.8 t in the numerator? Oh no, because it's negative, so you have to move it down.
Yes.
Okay, that makes sense.
Very good. Any questions? Determine the integrals. Any questions?
I'm sorry, where did the 1920?
This times this times this. Yes.
So if we don't simplify that deeply, I mean.
It's not simplified. I normally don't, I cannot leave a negative exponent in the final answer. Normally we don't. So this has a negative exponent. Now it goes to the denominator with the positive exponent. This one has a negative exponent. It goes to the denominator.
But if I, okay.
So normally we don't leave negative exponents in the final answer. As a general rule.
Yeah, we do it so that it's easier to calculate.
exactly, if I have to set this equal to 0, if you say, find the critical numbers, I'll say, sorry, it's only the denominator can never be 0. The numerator cannot be 0, it has no critical number. If you ask me what is the sign of the derivative, it's positive. No matter what you plug in, you're going to get positive. This is positive, this is positive, this is positive. So the function is always increasing. So that's why it will be more difficult to have those at the top. It will be difficult to figure out what is the sign. Okay, moving on. So we have the integral from 1 over x minus 3e to 3x dx. Is this a definite or an indefinite integral? Yes.
It's 1 over x squared.
Sorry, thank you. Is this a definite or indefinite?
Indefinite.
Very good. So you're going to get what as the answer?
Function.
A function. Actually, a family of functions. Very good. Excellent. So I'm waiting for you to find which function prime is 1 over x squared. Not over 1x squared, over 1 over x, but not 1 over x squared.
Isn't it 1 over?
X, but negative. Very good, awesome. When you differentiate negative 1 over x, you get 1 over x squared. Minus 3, which function prime is e to 3x. Over 3 though. Let's check. Let's differentiate and see if we get that. So negative 1 over x prime is 1 over x squared. And then minus. I have 3. When I differentiate this, I get e to u times the inner function prime, which will cancel this. Is that clear? If this were just x, I would have said e to the x, and I was done. But this, when I differentiate this piece, right, e to 3x over 3 prime is e to 3x times 3 over 3, and that's how I recover the e to 3x. So this is final. Or you can use a substitution. This is from 2 to 3, from 1 over x minus 3 e to x dx. What type of integral is this? This is definite. So the answer must be definitely a number, because it's an area. Very good. Are we working on this for a moment? Or you want me to continue? We have to decide when we have test 3.
When's the last day to take test 2? Is it the 7th?
On the last day to take test 2,
What is it?
I thought we
I could be totally wrong.
have
This weekend.
yes.
Yeah.
Now, if we need Monday, I can extend it till Monday, but we have to make a decision by Thursday.
I was just trying to see when.
I already sent it out.
I was planning on taking it on Friday, so with today's schedule.
It's already sent out. They have it.
But
So for you at Rundle Mills, but check, they
Yeah,
close at 7. It's don't, yeah. And
Okay,
Friday, I
yes.
think they close at 1.
It was early, yeah.
Yeah, be very careful. Okay, so which function prime is 1 over x? Yes, but the absolute value. Minus, which function prime is 3e to the x?
3 to x.
In this case, since it's a definite integral, there is no need for the constant. So let's plug in 3. When I plug in 3, I get natural log 3. I don't need the absolute value. minus 3e to the third, minus. Put parentheses so you don't forget to distribute. This will be natural log 2 minus 3e squared. And that's final. You don't need to do anything else. This is just a number. Find the area under the graph of f of x. F of x equals x cubed plus x for x less than or equal to 3, and 2 plus x for x greater than 3, and the interval is 2, 4.
So we have to do two separate intervals.
Very good point. Excellent point, actually. The integral from 2 to 4 from f of x dx must be the integral from 2 to 3 plus the integral from 3 to 4. Good. Excellent.
Ms. Reed, on my thought was on the last one, it's 3 to 4. It has to be greater than 3, so isn't it 4 to 4 of the last interval?
The integral from 4 to 4 is 0. There is no width.
Okay.
So the interval 2 to 4 is split between 2 and 3, and then between 3 and 4.
Because on the first piecewise function, it's x is less than or equal to 3. But on the second piecewise function, x has to be greater than 3.
Yes, but the interval is 2, 4.
Okay.
I'm limited to 2, 4. So 2, 4 means 2 to 3 and means 3 to 4.
Gotcha.
There is nothing else. So from 2 to 3, from which function? So
So from 2 to 3, it would be the x or to
very good indeed. And from 3 to 4?
2 plus x.
Very good. There is no other way. Which function prime is x cubed? X to the 4 over 4 plus x squared over 2 from 2 to 3. Is that clear? Because when we differentiate this, we have to get that. But good. Now 2x plus x squared over 2 from 3 to 4. This is not a friendly situation because of the numbers that we have to plug in. The rest is quite straightforward, but now I have to plug in 3. 81 over 4 plus 9 over 2 minus, when I plug in 2, 16 over 4 is 4 minus 4 divided by 2, which is 2. So one more time, what this means is we plug in 3 and we get 81 over 4. We plug in 3 and we get 9 halves. Minus when I plug in 2, 16 over 4 is 4. And when I plug in 2, 4 over 2 is 2. Plus, now I plug in 4 and I get 8 plus 16 over 2, which is another 8. Minus, when I plug in 3, I get minus 6 and minus 9 halves. I hope that something goes away. Good, that's a good thing. And then this is 16 and this is 12. So I have still 81 over 4. 16 minus 12 is positive 4. So all I have left is 81 plus 16 over 4, which is 97 over 4. So yes, 16, and this is minus 12. 16 minus 12 is 4.
Gotcha. And then, so why did we do 81 plus 16?
Say it again.
81 plus 16?
I have to find the least common denominator. No problem. Since we only have 1 minute left, I would recommend not continue tonight